Bueno, a la noche, ahora cuando que van al cole a las 8:30, 9 menos cuarto, al 9 más tardar, ya están durmiendo. Y ahí el momento nuestro conmigo, con Antonella y
Lionel Messi has been football's sweetheart for nearly 2 decades, so it's easy to assume everyone in the football community loves him. Well, here's a shocker. Not everyone loves Messi, and topping the list of his haters are some of football's finest. From Kylian Mbappe, who didn't seem to want Messi as a teammate, to Sergio Ramos, who didn't mind ending Messi's career, these are 10 players who hate Messi. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is one player who considers himself better than Ballon d'Or award winners, even though he doesn't have one to his own name. You see, Zlatan was already a major force in the football world when Messi was still playing youth football. So, when he joined Barcelona and had to endure becoming second best to Messi, all he could do was hate on the Argentine. Pep signed Zlatan to Barcelona to play a supporting role for Messi. However, this arrangement wasn't working because the Swedish giant was used to being the main man. Well, it was only a matter of time before things went well south and Zlatan began slandering the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner. Things could have become a lot worse if Pep had not intervened, and guess what? Ibrahimovic had to go on loan before things got out of hand. Being hated by a teammate isn't a situation any player is comfortable with, but Messi might be used to it because Zlatan wasn't his only teammate who hated him. Mauro Icardi and another player who is used to being the best in his team also did. We will see more on this later, but in the meantime, let's see why Icardi hated Messi. While Argentina was preparing for the 2018 World Cup, their coach had a major challenge. He had to select a handful of players from several stars. When he realized his list, Icardi's name was left out, and lots of fans were shocked. Well, everyone expected Icardi to make the team because he was in form and had a great season with Inter Milan. Icardi could have kept mum. Sadly, when walking about being left out of his team, Mauro said he wasn't on the team because he failed to get along with Messi. Icardi's allegation went viral, but he denied blaming Messi for not being on the team. Well, we can't take Icardi's word for it. He probably denied blaming Messi because of a backlash. It seems absurd for teammates to hate each other, but it seems quite normal for opponents to hate one another. This next set of players hated Messi because they were not comfortable playing against him. If anyone had told Sergio Ramos he would become Messi's teammate at the twilight of their careers, he wouldn't have given it any thought, as many players never saw eye to eye for about a decade. Messi was a Barcelona attacker and Ramos was a Madrid defender, so it wasn't out of place for Ramos to tackle Messi. As much as it was okay for Ramos to tackle Messi, he did more than that. He made it a point of duty to foul the Argentine each chance he got. The aim was to intimidate the Argentine, but it's interesting how Messi got even more dangerous with time. There was a bitter rivalry between Messi and Ramos, and it didn't seem like it was going to end until they both signed for PSG. Not many people expected them to become teammates, but as soon as they began playing on the same team, their rivalry ended. Ramos was perhaps Messi's biggest enemy in Madrid, but he had a partner in crime. His defensive partner, Pepe, also hated Messi and never gave up on the chance to hit the former Barcelona talisman. Of course, Pepe knew he wasn't supposed to give Messi any chance, but he did more than that. Dude was brutal and did all he could to annoy the former Barcelona number 10. Pepe came down on Messi with hard tackles over and over, but he didn't stop at these many tackles. He was also verbally abusive. Well, unlike Ramos, who ended up playing with Messi, Pepe doesn't know what it feels like to play with the captain of the Argentine national team, so this hatred might never end. Messi didn't need to do much for Pepe to hate him. All he needed to do was play good football. The next player had no reason to hate Messi until the Argentine treated him unfairly. The 2022 World Cup will always be remembered as Messi's best. He lifted the World Cup for the first time. But on the way to becoming a World Cup winner, he made an enemy. The Netherlands and Argentina met in the quarterfinals of the 2022 World Cup. Although Argentina came out of this encounter smiling, it wasn't an easy victory. After a 2-2 scoreline in extra time, the Netherlands and Argentina had to play penalties. Sadly for the Dutch players, things went Argentina's way. Argentine football fans might remember this match as the day the Argentine team showed a lot of resilience. However, other football fans might remember it as a day Messi decided to clash with virtually everyone from the Dutch team. There was a lot of tension which remained in the air even after the match was over. With Argentina victorious, Messi, while walking down the tunnel, met Weghorst, who was waiting for him. The Dutch player wanted Messi's shirt, so he asked for it as Messi approached. Sadly, he got what he didn't bargain for. Instead of getting a shirt from the 8-time Ballon d'Or award winner, he got insults. Although it's been 2 years already, we don't think Weghorst has forgotten this incident. Unlike Pepe and Ramos, Filipe Luis's encounters with Messi might not be so famous. Nonetheless, the former Brazilian defender just doesn't like the Argentine talisman. Luis didn't always hate Messi. His dislike for Messi actually started when he became an Atletico Madrid player. You see, each time Barcelona and Atletico Madrid met, Messi always humiliated Felipe. Well, the aim wasn't to humiliate the Brazilian. Messi was just playing football, and beating Felipe was just a part of the game. However, there's a likelihood that the Atletico Madrid defender saw things differently. He probably felt like Messi was keen on humiliating him. While he couldn't contain the Argentine, he resorted to frequent fouls and extremely hard tackles. One could say these tackles were not intentional, but with the frequency with which they occurred, it was obvious that he knew what he was doing. And these tackles were fueled by his hatred for the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner. Not all rivals are bitter, and we might want to consider the rivalry between Gary Medel and Lionel Messi as one of the few that aren't exactly bitter, but it's interesting how this will be difficult to believe going by how intense both players got in the 2019 Copa America match between Chile and Argentina. Things got so nasty in this match that the Chilean defensive midfielder and the Argentine talisman got sent off. Well, as much as lots of folks expected things to escalate, it seems Gary's hatred for Messi is only on the pitch. The next Messi hater didn't hide his dislike for Messi both on and off the pitch. Right now, Real Madrid players have no business hating Barcelona players. As a matter of fact, Barcelona players might be the ones hating Real Madrid players because of Madrid's recent success, but that wasn't always the case. Just a couple of years ago, Madrid players hated Barcelona players, and the most hated player in the Barcelona squad was Lionel Messi. While it seemed normal for Pepe and Ramos to hate Messi, their hatred for the former PSG star was matched by Arbeloa's. You see, Arbeloa thinks Messi is one of the best players ever and has a lot of respect for him, but underneath his huge dose of respect is massive hatred. It might be difficult to understand how Arbeloa respects Messi and hates him at the same time. However, if you had an idea how bad Messi made him look, you might understand why he hates the former Barcelona man so much. In his playing days, Arbeloa was a fine defender, but next to Messi, he was like a novice. Messi constantly made him look like a joke, and this fueled his dislike for the Argentine. Lots of football fans thought it was okay for Arbeloa to dislike Messi while his career was going on, but it's interesting how this former Spanish international still doesn't like Messi, even now that he's retired. It was probably okay for Arbeloa to dislike Messi. However, no one expected this next player to be on the list of players who hate Messi. Kylian Mbappe and Messi are from different eras, so it's surprising that the French captain hates the Argentine legend. Well, we can't blame him. The blame is on Barcelona. You see, in 2021, Barcelona got into a financial mess and could no longer afford to keep Messi, so he had to leave. Messi could have decided to play for any team in the world, but he chose to head to the French capital and play for PSG. The fans were happy, Neymar was glad, but Kylian just didn't like the idea. You see, the Frenchman was used to being the face of PSG, and having a new player come to fight for his spot wasn't something he was ready for. Although Kylian wasn't quite comfortable with Messi's arrival, he tried to act like all was well until he couldn't take it anymore, and it became obvious that he didn't want to be on the same team as the 8-time Ballon d'Or award winner. Unlike Arbiola, Kylian might not openly admit to disliking Messi. Nonetheless, the world knows the truth. These players who do not like Messi might be disliked by football fans for hating football's sweetheart. But do you think their individual reasons for disliking him were justified? Kindly tell us in the comments section below. But hey, before moving on, please hit the like and share buttons, and also kindly subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so.